hate my shorts.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dave Lee Down Under podcast. I'm, of course, your host, Dave Lee, and this is episode number 34. Oh, we made it to 34 episodes. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. Well, of course, you can join us on the podcast every single Monday. It goes out on all podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Audible. The visual element is available to view on YouTube, which goes out 2 days early to Patreon supporters. You can head over to patreon.com/Dave Lee Down Under. You can get your early access to the podcast for as little as $1 a month.
Cheapy.
Yeah. We've migrated video podcasts to the second channel now on YouTube as well. So if you're watching this video on YouTube, it's on the second
Dedicated
channel. Dedicated channel. So if you could hit subscribe down below if you're watching this. Get these watch hours up, all that kind of stuff to help that channel grow and get my monetization back.
Whatever you do, if there's only a section you watch, don't leave it running.
Don't leave it running. Can't ask you to do it.
I'm not allowed to ask you to do that.
So anyway, the video version does go out on the Monday, but if you're a patron, you get it early on the Saturday. Except for today, I apologise. It is going out on Saturday, but we're recording a little late today, so patrons have got this week's one a little bit late. That only happens once in a while.
Been a busy few days.
We'll talk about it in a moment. You can find me on YouTube at Dave Lee Down Under, over on Twitter and Instagram. There's links in the description of every single podcast. There's also a link to the podcast channel. If you're listening, it's down the bottom as well. You can check it out. If you want to write into the show, you can shoot an email to daveleepod@gmail.com. Now, if you're listening on the podcasting platforms, please leave a review and a rating. It helps.
Only good ones, please.
Yeah.
Don't like bad ones.
Don't like the bad ones. Of course.
Send me into a spin if I get a bad one.
I know. Go mad.
Just won't. My mental health just won't deal with it.
No, I know. No, we'll be right. We'll be okay, but please, good reviews. Good reviews. We love them. Of course, the voice you can hear next to me again this week is Old Mate Rick.
The old bastard.
Welcome back to the show. Hey, I had a few people email me this week or write in this week, over the last couple of weeks even. People saying, who is Old Mate? We're getting this question again. Who's Old Mate Rick?
God.
We used to start
getting new subscribers. They don't know.
I know, exactly right. We used to open every show with this, but I guess because of the newer listeners, newer viewers, stuff like that, I still get the question, who's this guy hosting the podcast? Who's the old guy? It's my dad.
Yeah, I'm his old man.
My father, Old Mate Rick.
Yep. He's
joining me once again, and we've beat the theme song this week.
Woohoo!
How good's that?
Oh, doesn't often happen.
I know. You can probably we'll just play it out. Ready? There we go. Beautiful.
Awesome.
Hey,
I love that theme.
Huh?
I love that
it's a good theme, isn't it? It's a very good theme. I wrote it myself.
Yeah, good on you.
I performed it. I got there the guitar. I did it all.
Oh, is that the one I was banging away on the drums?
Yeah, you did
for?
the drums.
That was for?
And then we put it all together. It sounds fucking so good. I didn't get it for free off like a commercial.
No, you didn't.
Commercial
you
free.
Didn't do that at all.
Free license.
Never do that sort of shit.
Copyright free. No, I wrote it. It's mine.
Royalty
my
free.
work. I shouldn't say that. I might get sued. Yeah, it's a good tune though.
It's a good one.
It's a good tune. Hey, you can probably we're sounding a little bit muffled.
Just a little bit.
A little bit. Should probably speak a little closer to the microphone.
Sit right on top of it today.
Yeah,
like.
Those who are watching can see that we've got our masks on
because it all went to shit this week.
Shit again
in Melbourne. All gone to shit.
Oh my gosh! So
it's South Australia's fault.
I was going to say those listening can't see that we got the masks on, so
No.
I thought I have to explain it. South Australia's fault.
Yeah, we had one return travel from India.
Well, we spoke about
we had
this.
several.
We spoke about this a few weeks ago, actually.
Last week, yeah.
that a couple of weeks ago,
we
were talking about this guy who'd come back from India, and then he'd come out of hotel quarantine, and he was all fine. Then he came to Melbourne, and then a few days later, he started to feel a bit sick.
They reckon he got it on his last day.
Oh yeah,
his last day in quarantine.
So anyway, he's been out and about.
That was in Adelaide, South Australia.
Yeah,
he came back to Melbourne.
Said that.
Then a few days later,
said that.
He's spreading it around the place.
Yeah, so he's been everywhere. Supermarkets. Fucking was in the city doing a bar crawl.
Someone had a big night.
Someone did a big bar crawl.
They'd gone to about 4 nightclubs.
Yeah, one guy went to one place, went to another place, went back to the first place, then went to another place, then came back.
And then till about 4, till about 4.
That's what they do. That's what people do. There's bar crawl, but so this original guy, even he, in his 3 or 4 days between getting tested, he had been to bars, he'd been to clubs, he'd been to the petrol station, he'd been to supermarkets, he'd been all over the place, and it's just spread. So we got another cluster. Yep. What is it at the moment? For 30, 40 odd people?
30, must be 39 or something? 38, 39,
something like that. So, of course, everyone, we can probably take these off, actually.
Yeah, we can take them off.
The gag's done. The gag's done.
Breathe again.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, it's been crazy. So we're back in lockdown. For those overseas who might not know, we are back in lockdown again here in Melbourne. Lockdown 4.0.
Yeah, 4th time. It's only a quick 7-day one.
A quick one, snap one.
They call a circuit breaker.
Yeah, man.
So hopefully that's all. But a couple of the people have been to the football and stuff like that, and one of them was at a game we were at.
Yeah, well, we got an email, or text from the Department of Health.
Yeah.
We weren't anywhere near the guy. Luckily, we were... or the woman, I think it was a guy.
I think it was whichever.
There's a person was there.
Hopefully it was a person.
Yeah, but we were over the other side of the ground, thankfully.
Oh no, we were on the same side of the ground, but he was around.
He was around the other end. Yeah,
the other end.
That's what I mean. So we get. This is a message from the Department of Health Victoria. You are receiving this message because you've been identified as attending the Essendon vs North Melbourne match at Marvel Stadium on 23rd of May 2021. You've been assessed to be a Tier 3 contact of a person who's tested positive for COVID. Tier 3 is lowest.
Yeah.
It's very slim chance of you even having come in contact with him. So I'm assuming they sent this to everyone who was at the game.
Probably.
And then if you were closer to him, you'd get that. But this one says monitor yourself for symptoms. If you develop symptoms, you should get tested and isolate. But I imagine if you were Tier 1, maybe even Tier 2, they're saying, go get tested, isolate.
Tier 1 you do because that's a close contact.
Yeah.
That's personal contact. So, yeah. So... But I mean, there were bit over 32,000 people at the game. So I'm assuming everybody got that. Yeah. And then a couple of days before, there was a game at the MCG.
At the other game, yeah.
At the other ground, and there were quite a few thousand people there as well.
I know. So it's sort of exploded a little bit, and now they just got really panicked at holy shit, this could, because it's the Indian variant, which is the really bad one. Which is spreading everywhere. I read yesterday that they reckon something like 65 or 75% of new cases in the UK are the Indian strain.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's nuts, man.
Yeah. I don't think it's any more volatile, but it's
just easy to
it's
catch.
More contagious.
Yeah, well, they were saying symptoms show within a day.
Wow.
Whereas before it was 3, 4, 5 days, up to 10 days.
Yeah.
But this one is
But that doesn't really make sense because some of these people have been in the community for 3 or 4 days before they've got symptoms.
Right, yeah. Like this first guy.
Yeah.
Nuts. I don't know.
Well, maybe you had a sort of cold symptoms for a couple of days and thought, maybe I should go get tested.
Yeah, probably.
I was in quarantine.
Yeah. Well, they've been testing 50, 60,000 people a day, and it's been only 5 today, 5 cases.
4 yesterday, 10 the day before.
So it's thankfully not exploding as it could be.
Exactly
but
right.
Again,
that's the whole idea of the circuit breaker.
Yeah, exactly right. To stop it.
Shut down, just to stop it. And which just means we're not allowed out of the house, basically, apart from if you can go to work, you can go to work. If you can work from home, you're supposed to work from home. Yeah. You can go out for exercise. You can go out for essentials, food,
What's the 4 reasons, isn't it? But then they've added the 5th one,
the 5th one to go and get your test, to go get tested or injections.
Vaccinated, yeah. Crazy.
So, yeah.
Wow. So
it all went to shit this week.
Yeah, so we're back here, but that's all right.
Back in lockdown France.
I had no plans.
No, well, me neither. I did. I had some stuff to do this week, but I'll just put that off until a week after now.
Yep.
And my client will have to understand that that's what it is.
Yeah, well, exactly right.
Yeah, she'll be fine with it.
Yeah.
She's fine.
So, yeah, so we're back here. I mean, it's been 2 days. Nothing's really changed for us yet. But everyone out there who is struggling, whatever, we're here with you for the next couple of hours to keep you entertained. And your thoughts, our thoughts are with you.
Yes.
Yes, we're thinking about you. And people anywhere around the world. I know it's still crazy in America and in parts of England and, wherever around the world.
Particularly places like India.
Well, India where it's just exploded, man.
Really feel for them.
Thoughts are with you, of course. And we hope we can cheer you and entertain you for the next couple of hours. A couple of guys just talking some shit.
Yeah, or just, speak some shit to you.
Yeah.
You can sit back and think, these guys are all right. Let's speak crap.
Yeah. Hey, we got.
I like to listen to crap.
We actually did get a new, a nice review this week.
Yeah.
If I can pull it up, which are essentially along those lines.
I don't get to see any of these before we come under the.
No, I only just saw this yesterday.
No, that's fine. I don't mind not saying them. I'd be surprised.
Fantastic podcast, this person says.
Awesome.
I look forward to listening to this every week. Great segments, interesting topics, funny moments, and 2 great guys talking about their love for movies. There's nothing more amazing.
Thank you. Who was that?
That's Holton07.
Holton07.
From Great Britain.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, there you go. Very cool.
Awesome.
We had one a few weeks. Oh, we read that one from Regular Man 987, who says it's always a treat to listen to from Canada. So they come from all over. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
We do love
appreciate it
when you chip in like that.
We just hope that we can sort of lighten up somebody's day.
Yeah.
For a couple of hours or half an hour or how much you want to listen to it.
Yeah, exactly right.
And not leave it running.
Don't leave it running in the background. If you've got bored, don't leave it running, clocking up those
hours.
For us? No, don't do it.
Not allowed to.
Now we were talking last week that a few people had raised. We're continuing to raise issues about the length of the podcast. People were saying, "Oh, it's too long."
What do I say? Never mind the length, feel the quality.
Yeah, that's right. I think you pulled that joke last week.
Yeah, I know.
Say
it all the time.
So I think. So yeah, we had a few people write in, and so we did a shorter show last week.
Well, we sort of aimed initially to do it for about an hour and a half.
Well, yeah, the original plan was like an hour and a half, and then they just balloon sometimes.
Yeah.
So we're like, let's just try and rein it back a little bit this week, and just try and get the show a little bit tighter.
Truncate it a little bit.
I had a lot of people messaging me and going, I like the long shows. Keep them long.
Oh, well.
So I think really what we're just going to do is we just write I do the script. I think we just cover what we need to cover for the week and get through it. And if you need to tune out, tune out. We don't expect you to sit here and listen to the whole thing. That's why I leave. And
we don't expect you to leave it running in the background.
No, don't do that. I time code it all anyway. Yeah, so I assume from the get-go not everyone's going to listen to the whole thing. No, so you can just skip around. I mean,
you don't, I don't.
Well, yeah.
Listen to all of a podcast sometimes, Yeah,
usually. Just skip through or whatever. So, yeah, you know what? You just listen to the bits you want and whatever else. Don't leave it running in the background for the whole couple of hours. Anyway.
Particularly on YouTube.
Yeah. But look, the thing is, like I've spoken to a few people who are into podcasting. Of course, James from Mr. Sunday. Yep. He is Mr. Sunday. And from the Weekly Planet. Great guy. Him and Mike, Radio Mike. I've spoken to him. I've spoken to both of them. And they both told me on separate occasions that podcasts are very much like a communal thing and people would tune in and listen to them to be with people, to have
similar interests and stuff.
Yeah, similar interests and feel like they're part of a conversation. Yep. People have them on in the background on a commute to work, listen to some in the morning. Like I said, like Mike in particular said he listens to the show every week and he's like, he'll listen to 10 minutes here on the way somewhere, 10 minutes on the way back, or listen to 15 minutes around the house or whatever. So we don't expect you to sit there for 2 hours and listen to the whole thing at once. But yeah, both James and Mike have said that to me, and it's like, just run however long it needs to go, because you know when it feels rushed and it feels like, oh, we're gonna end it now. That's it. Yeah. So I feel like we just need to have this thing where we just do the show we need to do and get everything done. And if you want to listen, I understand I'm also dealing with two audiences as well. And I feel like a lot of them all I won't say negative, but the more like constructive feedback about them being too long are people who are watching it on YouTube.
Yeah, I can get that.
And I understand that. I don't expect people to sit there for 2 hours watching a couple of guys just talking shit sitting at a table. Whereas the people who listen to it are more susceptible, is that the word?
Receptive
to just listening to it, having it on in the background. One guy. I
mean, I do it when if I'm down in the garage working away or something. I'll have the radio going in the background. You don't necessarily listen to what's been spoken about, but it's just company. Yeah, just keeps you company. And that's what we're hoping.
Exactly right. We just want to keep you company.
People company.
Well, I had Derek write in, who's a long-time listener, supporter of the show.
Not Ricky Gervais.
Not Ricky Gervais. Okay. Derek, another Derek. He wrote in. He says he listens to it during his workouts. He's like in the 2-hour show gets him through that workout. So I don't know. I think it's just.
So who's that? Come on, Derek. Push it, mate. Push. Yeah, Derek. Push. Come on.
Let's go. Go, mate.
Do another rep. Come on.
Good guy. So I think, it's just about listen to what you want to listen to, whether it's the whole show, whether it's just segments of it. We're just here to talk some shit, keep you entertained. Of course, Wacko Jacko, the
world's worst manager.
He hates the long shows.
But
Tim loves them. Tim loves just listen to a couple of guys talking some shit. So you got all these
those two share a house, so they can
exactly
punch the crap out of each other, see who wins.
Now Jackson, actually, Wacko Jacko was a bit annoyed because all we ever talk about him is like bad things, about when he's moaning and shit.
Oh, he's
like, you never say the good stuff. He's like, you never say the good stuff when I encourage it. I was like, well, that's not good radio.
No, exactly.
That's not good podcast. So
no, exactly
got to have a villain on the show, and that's Wacko Jacko. He's put himself in this position.
Yep.
He's the villain.
Yep.
And Tim is like the savior.
Yep. Exactly right.
Devil and angel on the shoulder.
What do they call him? The villain in a movie is called a
antagonist
and a protagonist.
Yeah, we got the voice of reason, and then you got like the fucking piss off that one. Yeah,
Jackson's on there, and Tim's on here.
So there you go. So anyway, we're just gonna do these shows as per, and just get through them as we can.
Yep.
Because I know, as I said, that we're dealing with multiple audiences, and first and foremost, this is a show that I really want to work on the audio platforms. It's built for audio platforms.
That's right.
Which is why I put very little effort into editing. Like I spent a couple of hours editing the video, but the video is just a supplement for people who might want that video version. It's more audio than anything else. Talking about podcasts, though, brief call out to the Daily Talk Show.
Oh, yeah. Josh
Jansen and Tommy Jackett. They have been running a daily talk show for the best part of 3 years now. They did over 1,000 shows.
Oh, my God.
1,023 or 1,033, something like that. Anyway, it's just over 1,000 shows. And they decided to call it quits this week. They've called it a day on the podcast. They very kindly asked me to go on their show last year. I did an episode of that last year. I will leave that link down at the bottom if you want to go and listen to it or watch it. I had a great time there. They're just really wonderful guys. And they, for various reasons, have decided to just end their show after 1,000 plus episodes.
It must be hard. Like,
exactly
coming up with content every single day.
I struggle every week.
Exactly right.
And
we don't struggle every week, but we couldn't do 2 or 3
No, exactly right. I don't struggle, but sometimes it's like, what the hell are we going to talk about this week? But these guys are doing it every single day for 1,000 plus days in a row. Yeah. It breaks down to 20 years worth of weekly podcasting.
Oh, my God.
Which is just inconceivable. It's crazy. So these guys
20 years' time, I don't know if I'll be here.
Well,
hope I am.
I think you should be. You will be.
Good genetics.
Good genes, yeah. Well, your parents are both 80.
80 plus.
In their 80s, yeah. So there you go. And still ticking away.
And Dad's father was 87 or something.
There you go.
So
nice and strong.
Hoping to reach at least 90.
Anyway, just wanted to big call out to those guys. They're fantastic. They were one of the many inspirations in getting us into podcasting.
Yep.
As soon as I got off doing their show, I was like, you know what, this idea I've had of doing a podcast for so long, it's going to happen now. It's got to happen now. So coming out of that, it was like this happened really quickly.
And they're both really terrific blokes too.
Really great guys.
And the guy operating the camera and stuff.
Oh, yeah, they had a couple of guys working there. Number 97, Mr. 97 and all those guys.
Terrific bunch of
great guys. Yeah. Anyway, all the best to those guys. Probably not listening, but all the best to them in their future endeavours and whatever they've got lined up for the future. And
do you know what they're doing? Or
I don't know. It sounds like they've got some things
some stuff
that they're going to go and do. But
their own separate ways and stuff.
So, yeah, just all the best to those guys and to their team and all that. It's such a great show. And like 1,000 daily shows, it's inconceivable. You put in the hard yards. You did a really, really great job. And if anyone out there hasn't discovered them, there's 1,000+ shows you can go and listen to. If you want to listen to one a week, you've got 20 years of entertainment there. Go and check them out. It's great. And, yeah, I'll leave my episode linked down at the bottom below.
Awesome. It's worth a watch.
It definitely is.
It's good.
Definitely is. I had fun. I talk about we just talked about like my inspirations and getting into YouTube and my time on YouTube and collecting media and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a deep dive. It's probably an hour and a half or so. And
Something like that, yeah.
So just check it out if you're interested in that.
So good luck to the boys.
Yes, all the best. All the best. And to the girls as well that are working on the team.
Yeah.
The guys and the girls. We have not watched a lot this week. Well, actually, we have watched quite a bit this week. Catalog-wise, like older titles, I was so busy this week. Again.
Yep.
I had things to do in the morning, whether it's news or I've been trying to pump out this Evolution video. So I've actually been like, what's that word? I've had the, what's the word I'm thinking of? Discipline.
Yep.
I've had the discipline to get up early and go, no movie today, straight into the video, get those like extra couple of hours in.
Yep.
Because over like 3 or 4 days,
Had a bit to
that's
get
like
through.
6 or 8 hours of extra work. I'm happy to do it. I'm feeling a little bit run down after it though, to be honest, because I saw a movie earlier in the week, had to do my review, and I was up till 3:30 doing that. And as we know, when I do one of these long nights, I'm fucked for the next like 3 or 4 days.
Yep.
So anyway, I've missed quite a few movies this week. I did get 2 in. I got 2 catalog titles in, 13 Ghosts and 13 Ghosts. I watched the original 1960 version.
Oh, okay.
And then I watched the remake, 2001. This was just released by Umbrella on Blu-ray. They just put out like a double pack
Oh, okay.
with both versions. Quite fun. I preferred the older one, the 1960s one. The story is basically like this family finds out that they, this old rich bloke dies. He's got a mansion, like millionaire, multi-millionaire, billionaire. He dies, and this family is like his only living relatives, and they inherit all his money and they inherit the mansion. But what they also inherit is 12 ghosts that he has been collecting throughout his life.
So why is it called 13 Ghosts?
Well, there's a twist at the end. You kind of wonder, ooh, what's the 13th ghost? It's predictable right from the very beginning in both versions, but it's like there is a 13th ghost that comes along with the house. It's quite fun. The original 1960 version, when you went and saw it in the cinema, you had to put on, they did it wasn't 3D, but they kind of used that 3D technology where the scenes that had ghosts in them, you could only see the ghosts if you put on the red glasses.
Yeah, I remember that.
So you could see the ghosts through the red glasses. And it actually opens with the producer of the film talking about it. It's like, if you believe in ghosts, look through the red goggles. If you don't believe in ghosts, look through the blue. And you look through the blue, you don't see the ghosts.
Yeah.
So in this version that's on home media, you actually see the film with a red filter over it. It's a black and white film, but all the scenes with the ghosts have like the red filter. It's quite fun. It's really quite good. It's just like a 1960s kind of studio horror B-movie kind of thing. And I enjoyed it. I quite enjoyed that. The remake version was made early 2000s, as I said. It's got Matthew Lillard in it, Shannon Elizabeth, Tony Shalhoub, a bunch of other people who are like...
That's the one you watched yesterday.
The one I watched yesterday. It's got a bunch of people that you would just recognise from these early 2000s movies, and it is such an early 2000s movie.
F. Murray.
F. Murray Abraham's in it. Yeah, he's the old bloke who dies. He's quite good in it. Yeah, so it's got quite a lot of people in it. It's fun, but it's like edited. Like the editing's really quick and really like frantic, and like there's a ghost and fucking it's Jeff cut, and it just gives you a headache. And the music's gone, and the ghosts are screaming. It's not scary. It's just like fucking overload.
Overload, yeah.
Yeah, it's like typical early 2000s. Let's just fucking go for it.
Yeah, I was sitting out there watching something else in the other room, and all who was screaming and God knows what. And you came out and go, "What the fuck are you watching?"
It's fun. It's fun for like an early 2000s like camp, like real just overload movie. It's not scary at all. Some of the ghosts are really not even creepy, just gruesome. Like there's like a big Frankenstein thing with all these nails in him, and like there's of course you've got the ghost with her boobs out because it's early 2000s movie, and she's running around like trying to stab him. Actually, I think she's fully naked. So it's just like really exploited, like what you would imagine from an early 2000s.
Yeah, really
sort of
exploitative.
Just crazy. It's a fucking crazy movie.
Oh god.
You couldn't get like an original and a remake that were further apart from each other than these two, I reckon. I think it's kind of interesting to take a look at both of them.
And of course, that one was.
Yeah, it was a shite. Yeah, that had like 5.6, the remake. Yeah. So anyway, you can get them on Blu-ray. There's the double pack from Umbrella Entertainment here in Australia. They're good fun. They're worth checking out. They're worth checking out. Other than that, no more catalogue titles, but we've been working through 2 franchises at the moment. While we're on the topic of like horror, we've been working our way through the Conjuring films. Yep. You had only ever seen...
I'd seen the first Conjuring 1.
Yeah.
And I think Annabelle.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd seen... I think it's the only 2 I've seen.
Yeah. So I'd seen those 2. I'd seen Annabelle Creation.
What was the one you and Alicia went to the cinema to see?
Oh, we both saw... I think we saw Conjuring
2.
We saw Conjuring 2 and Annabelle Creation. We saw both of them.
I think it was Conjuring 2.
Yeah.
You rang me and said, turn the lights on the house.
Yeah.
Turn the lights
probably was. I remember actually...
Not coming home to a dark house.
I remember coming home after Annabelle Creation, actually, and I've got like those big, like 70 centimetre, or like 60 centimetre, like Batman, Superman dolls.
No, 70 centimetre or something.
And they've got like Spider-Man and all that shit. I like lined them up in the hallway.
Yeah, that's right.
And it creeped Alicia out. It was so funny because of Annabelle. She didn't want to see any of like my like pop vinyls or the hot toys for like a week. It was like, I don't want to look at any of these dolls. It's quite funny. So I just kept putting like dolls in the middle of the hallway, creep her out. Brilliant stuff. So I've been getting through them because the 3rd movie is out next week, and when that comes out, of course we'll cover it.
Have to go see it.
Have to go and check it out. So yeah, we've been doing like chronological order.
That's right.
We're skipping The Nun and La Llorona for now.
Because they can sort of almost standalone.
They're like standalone things. They don't come into like the Warrens story. They're like backstories, like because we've seen those interviews with James Wan where he's saying, we introduce all these ghosts, and then at some point
spin-offs.
We can might spin them off if they're like they work well. Yep. So I haven't seen La Llorona, but I've seen The Nun, and it's trash. But we'll watch it. Yeah. We just want to get the Warren films out of the way. And we're aware the movie's coming out very soon, so we want to get them out of the way first, and then we'll go back to the other 2. So again, chronological order. We've watched Annabelle Creation. Well, quick thoughts on them. Annabelle Creation.
Oh, I've enjoyed them all.
You've enjoyed them. I've enjoyed them all. Okay, Annabelle Creation. We're
not big horror film buffs, but I've enjoyed those.
So even the trashy ones are enjoyable.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
Well, these are what people brand studio horror.
Yeah.
So it's like mass entertainment horror.
Yeah.
It's not like the fucking gore and slasher shit.
Yeah, slasher stuff I can't deal with.
So Annabelle Creation, we watched Annabelle, then The Conjuring, Annabelle Comes Home we watched last night. Yeah. None of them are particularly scary other than the Conjuring films.
Oh, the first Conjuring
is fucking frightening.
Yeah.
But the Annabelle one...
because you didn't know the threat.
Well, yeah, exactly right.
We were talking about that last week,
yeah. You don't know what it is. And that's the intense thing is like, oh my God, what is this thing?
Where's it coming from?
Well, for the first hour of the film, you don't even know. They're just like this poltergeist. Yeah. So good. Yeah. So I fucking love it. I think we've watched that 3 or 4 times now.
No, that'd be at least the third time I've
How
watched
often is it that we rewatch like a newer film?
Well, barely ever.
Very rarely. But this one we have watched at least 3 times. And it is so good every time. So we'll watch Conjuring 2 tonight. Get excited. I've seen it. You haven't. The only one out of these I hadn't seen was Annabelle Comes Home. And I enjoyed that. Like, there's, again, talk about movies that are so vastly different. You got The Conjuring, which is just so frightening and so beautifully made and just gorgeously made and gorgeously filmed, and everything about the production is just so immaculate. And then you get these spin-off movies which have just been like pumped out.
Yeah, exactly.
They just rush a script, rush the film. Yep. There's nothing that's like so beautiful about it. It's just easy jump scares, like haunted house flicks.
Yeah,
it couldn't be any. They could be two separate franchises, but they're still enjoyable. Like you get a little bit of different kind of enjoyment out of them. So Conjuring 2 is tonight. I'm looking for... I don't remember... A lot of these I don't remember much of, which has been good. Even The Conjuring, which we watched 3 times, it's still like it surprises you.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing the second one because I haven't seen it since it was in cinemas. The other franchise we've been doing at the moment is the Fast films finally into them.
Fast and Furious. Oh, my God.
Now, this has been another case, again, if you haven't been listening, another, like our Deadwood, how it's taken us years to watch Deadwood. The Fast movies has been like numerous times. Well, we watched 1 and 2 when they first came out over and over and over again. So we've probably seen the first one at least 10 times, I would say.
Oh, probably. Because I'm a car nut. I love
You always had it on. You loved it.
I loved it. That and Gone in 60 Seconds. I fucking love it.
So it was always on. They were always on.
I watch a lot of car shows and stuff on TV as well.
So when it got around to doing the rest of the franchise, there were numerous times where we were like, okay, we're going to watch them all because we didn't see them as they were coming out in cinemas.
No, that's right.
And numerous times we were like, okay, we got to watch them all now. And then we'd start and we'd watch 1 and 2 and then for some reason we just didn't continue.
Yeah, that's right.
And it happened numerous times.
Well, it got to the third one, and I'd heard how bad it was, like Tokyo Drift.
Oh yeah,
well, I just couldn't come up watching it.
I'm sure we saw bits of it and thought this is shit.
Yeah, I have seen bits of it, and they use a lot of that zoom. Zoom focus and shit.
Well, that's I think a case of like Annabelle, where it was originally like just a spin-off. Because they couldn't get Vin Diesel or Paul Walker, whoever, they couldn't get them back, or they didn't have the funds to get them back. Because I don't think the movies were financially successful at first, the first 2. They were big enough, but they weren't enough to be like huge, like juggernaut, so that each film was pared back a bit. Vin Diesel didn't come back for the second one, and then neither of them in the third one. I think Vin Diesel has like a cameo right at the end.
Right.
But yes, that was like a spin-off thing. And then it's interesting to see how they've tried to build that into the franchise.
Yeah.
So they've set, if you don't know, they've tried to fit in Tokyo Drift in between 6 and 7.
Yeah, which is where we are now.
We are now. So it's funny, every movie leading up to that point, the guy, Han, goes, can't wait to get to Tokyo one day.
Can't wait to get back to Tokyo, yeah.
Didn't you say you were going to Tokyo? Not yet. And then, where should we go? Oh, we've always wanted to go to Tokyo. So it's like everyone, they're like, oh, we just put it off. We'll put it off to the next one. I'll put it off again. Yeah. It almost become like a running joke. So now we're at 6 and he's finally gone to Tokyo.
Yeah.
So now, again, we're doing the chronological thing. We watch 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and then the next one's Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
And then we'll do 7, 8. Then Hobbs and Shaw, and then the new one, 9.
The new one, 9. Yeah. Well, when that's out, yeah.
Yeah. A few weeks.
That's a couple of weeks.
The end of
2 or 3
next
weeks.
month.
Yeah.
Or this month, actually, because by the time this podcast goes out, it'll still be May. By the time this podcast goes out, it'll be the 31st, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
So anyway, they've been fun. Just big, stupid, dumb meathead movies.
Yeah, they're like Jason Statham films.
Well, he comes into the next one, doesn't
he? They're entertaining and they're fun to watch, and you don't have to concentrate. And they're just good to go along for a bit of fun.
Yeah, big, explosive, and stupid.
Over the top, and some of the like that one last night with the plane.
Yeah,
the plane was going down the runway for about 15 minutes. It's like, how long is this fucking runway?
How funny. So funny. And then the plane crashes just before he reaches the end of the runway.
Yeah.
I loved it when they're going over the bridge, like really fast, and then Michelle Rodriguez jumps out of gets flung out of the car, and Vin Diesel's like, fuck, I'm going to save her, and he jumps out and like grabs her.
Well, he smashed his car into the side. Yeah. And it flipped him out.
That's right. And he jumps out and grabs her as they're going over, like you got the 2 bridges, and then over the top, he grabs her, and they do like a fucking army roll and land on the car. Brilliant.
And then later on, she says, how'd you know the car was going to be there? And he says, I didn't.
That's the bit that got me. I was like, I'm sure I verbally was like, what the fuck?
That was
the one moment that was like, okay, here we go. Because we've heard that each one just gets stupider and stupider, and it's finally hit that point now, I think, where the franchise is like, okay, we finally
almost jumped the shark.
Yeah, fucking brilliant though. I love it. So I'm looking forward to 7.
Yeah, they're good fun.
We're gonna get through.
Really enjoy them.
Got to get through Tokyo Drift.
But it's not about cars anymore. It's about
it's just about
smashing shit up.
But the stunt work is fucking crazy.
Oh, it's incredible.
So good.
Really incredible good. Stunt work.
Really good. Like.
And there's one, I'm not sure which of it, 7, might be 7, I think, where they drive cars out of a plane or something.
Don't know. No idea. I'm looking forward to it.
So
crazy.
So that'll be fun.
TV-wise, we didn't watch any television this week, really, other than like the reality shows that have been on at the moment. Big Brother.
They're always good fun.
The Apprentice. We love our reality shit. We've watched... we have a lot to watch, though. We've got Trying. Just started on Apple TV, the 2nd season, so there's a few episodes of that we've got to watch. We've got a few episodes of Big Shot on Disney Plus left to watch. We keep forgetting. Right. The 3rd season of Kaminsky Method just landed on Netflix.
It's just started.
I need to finish season 2. I don't know how much of it I've watched.
You haven't finished it?
No. I don't know how many.
Brilliant.
I keep saying to Alicia, can you please let me know how much we watched of it so I can finish it? I'll let you know, and then I hear back. Then I remind her a month later because it was on her Netflix overseas.
Oh, okay.
So...
so you were overseas at the time.
Yeah, I was overseas. I was watching it with
her.
You
actually put me onto it, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Such a good show. Michael Douglas and... who's the other guy in it?
I can't remember.
Kaminsky Method. Is it Alan... Wait, what's
Alan
his name?
Elder?
Yeah, no, not Alan Elder. I can picture him. Alan Arkin. Is it Alan Arkin?
I'm not sure.
Let me have a look. But it's the Alan Arkin. It's the 3rd season and it's the final season.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So, Alan Arkin. So, such a good show. I love it.
Yeah, it's really good.
3rd season's on Netflix. We'll check that out when it goes on.
So they dump the full season, don't they?
They do the full season on Netflix, yeah. We also watched... We'll briefly talk about this because I did a review. Last week, we watched the first 3 episodes of the new Rugrats reboot.
Mm-hmm.
How would you think of that?
Didn't have the same charm as the original.
Yeah,
I thought.
Yeah,
it's not something you've got to watch it for what it is.
Yeah.
And it's a show for 5-year-olds.
Yeah,
5 to 10-year-olds are going to love it.
Yeah,
they will absolutely love it. But watching it because I of course watched it when you were a kid. I watched the original with you, and I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of gags in there for adults and all that sort of shit. But there's less of that in this new one.
Well, I thought the first show, which was the double length 40-minute one,
that was
really,
more like
really
the original.
Good. Yeah, and it had the adult jokes.
Yeah,
the grandpa's on the dating app.
Yeah,
and has all the people showing up to his front door.
Yeah,
all these little adult jokes. But then once it gets into like the actual episodes, it's so dumbed down.
Yeah,
it's just really like kid aimed, which is what it is. I mean, that's Nickelodeon's target demographic, and as much as this happens every time something like this gets rebooted and the older crowd is like, oh, but they just ruined it. And they're like, fucking, it's like you said, it's a show for 5-year-olds.
Yeah. And for me, it was a little difficult to watch because of the animation.
Yeah.
I really loved the charm of the original animation, which was probably all hand-drawn, was it?
Yeah, well, their first 3 seasons, the first 3 or 4 seasons were hand-drawn.
Yeah.
And they switched to digital later on.
It's this digital 3D sort of animation, and it's not really my bag,
No.
but the kids will love it because they've grown up with that animation, you know.
Oh yeah, the CGI stuff. Exactly
So-
right. That's why they've done it. But anyway, I did a full review for that. You can check that out on YouTube. We also watched just quickly.
But it's worth checking out.
It's worth checking out if you're a fan of it.
out,
Particularly that first episode, I really really liked.
Yeah, I did too.
And it's almost like they went, here's
Here's your show.
Here's
back
your
again.
show for the older crowd. Enjoy this, and then it's like, okay, now it's for the kids.
Yeah, it's for the kids. Fuck off.
So you get your because it's funny because Nickelodeon have rebooted a couple of the older shows.
Yeah.
They rebooted Hey Arnold, and they
did they really? I didn't realise they did that.
it was just a special though. So they did a
right.
Hey Arnold one, and they did a Rocko's Modern Life, and they were both like 40-minute specials.
Oh, right.
And they were kind of aimed at the older crowd, and it's almost like here's your 40-minute revival. That's done now.
Yeah.
So I felt like the Rugrats, that first 40-minute one, they took that same approach. It was like, here's your 40-minute thing.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, now the rest of this is for the children.
Yep.
So yeah, in that respect, it's quite good. But if you're an older fan, just temper expectations.
Yeah, exactly right. Because it's not made for you. It's made for today's kids to get a new generation involved in the show.
Yeah. We also watched this week. This is the big buzz show of the week. Was the Friends reunion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because that show was on in this household so fucking often. I got sick of it, and I'd walk into the room and go, "Oh, you watching that shit again?"
That and Simpsons are the only show.
Well, The Simpsons I can watch over and over again. That didn't bother me, but Friends, it just got to a point where I just thought, I've had enough of this shit. I don't have it on repeat anymore.
I would have it on repeat. It's the only show I've had on repeat other than The Simpsons.
Yeah.
And I reckon I've watched it through about 10 times.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that'd be right.
Love it. And Alicia loves it too, which is great.
And I wasn't really looking forward to the reunion that much. So much as you and Alicia and probably Emily.
Yeah.
Emily would have.
Cousin, and Ben, they both love it.
Yeah. But I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's really great.
Really did
Very
enjoy it.
good. I had fun with it. It's really nice to see them together. I
love they sort of brought some of the other characters into it as well. Which was great.
Gunther and the parents.
And
and
Mr.
Heckles.
What's her name from New York?
From New York.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Janice. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's fun. It was good. I wasn't particularly fond on James Corden hosting it, but he was okay.
He was all right. I don't mind James Corden.
He's okay.
You don't like him.
I'm not a big fan. I
quite like him.
And then he's just really full of himself.
Oh, yeah.
And that other celebrity shit, Justin Bieber coming out dressed as a spud.
Just see the irony in that, though.
Yeah, but
him dressed as a spud.
I know, but I didn't need it. I didn't need the runway thing. I didn't need David Beckham coming out and telling me how much he loves Friends.
No, I didn't.
It's just like I'll give the Lady Gaga segment a pass because I like Lady Gaga, and it worked. I thought that quite worked. Actually, they had her come in and did the Phoebe thing, and they did the whole
smelly cat.
Yeah,
and stuff,
she did the whole thank you for being the different one on Friends.
Yeah.
And allowing us different people to know that we were accepted. So I like that, but then a talking head of David Beckham saying, "Oh, I fucking love Friends. I love it. I come home and watch Friends. I don't care. Get back to what I'm here for, please." But otherwise, I thought it was really fantastic.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been complaining that they didn't go really in depth on some stuff. I mean, Matthew Perry had his troubles during the show's run. And I didn't dive into that.
I read a thing yesterday that said he'd been in rehab 4 times or something.
At least 2, I think, during the show. But I know that he has had troubles. Anyway, people were kind of annoyed that they didn't delve into it, particularly because the Fresh Prince, we haven't watched the Fresh Prince one, but apparently the Fresh Prince one, they sit around and they get real, in depth. It's just them sitting around a table and going, real heartfelt, and they didn't do it with Friends. But I kind of feel like Friends was always the glossy show. It was the happy show. It was. There's a vast difference between Fresh Prince and Friends. Fresh Prince was never afraid to tackle the hard topics. It was always really about, he was a kid, the poor kid who comes and lives with the older family, and it's all about the culture clash between him and his family. And, of course, being the black family, it was about how they... being in white America, and there's all these kinds of things that go. So it always tackled hard issues. Friends never did that. Friends was just comedic. It was always
glossy.
It was glossy. It was comedic farce, just for the sake of just entertain. Pure escapism.
Yeah.
Whereas Fresh Prince was always hard hitting. And quite revolutionary in that respect for a sitcom. So I feel like you can understand why the two reunions were handled differently. I never expected them to go in depth on Matthew Perry or any of that shit.
I don't think they would have touched that subject anyway.
So I was happy they got there. They were happy to reminisce about the good times and keep it light and cheery as the show was. I was happy with it. Yeah. I've always been one who said I don't want them to revive the show. And as the creator saying, I've said it forever. It's like this show is about this certain time in their life, a certain time of these people's lives, where, as they said on the thing, where your friends are your family.
Yep.
And at the end of that, they all disperse. They've all got families. They've got kids. I don't want to see Chandler and Monica in suburbia raising kids, or Joey running a taco shop, or something like that. I don't need to see it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the one show I'm I don't need that reboot. So I was happy this way. And they did the table read. They kind of revisited their characters in a way because they read the script.
Yeah.
And so you get this little burst of them just revisiting their characters, and this is the perfect way to do it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I really love that.
And just little bits, Joey and Chandler in their recliners, and
that's all you needed.
And that sort of stuff. Just little snippets like
little
that.
Sparks, beautiful.
And you could see in in the actors themselves. Their eyes would light up.
Yeah.
Like they were sitting in the girls' apartment, and someone looked across, and I think it was what's his name? Joey.
Matt LeBlanc.
It said, they got the chairs, and let's go in there. Let's go over there and sit in the chairs. So they went across and sat in the chairs, and that was a really nice little moment, just to see that they were genuinely excited by it, and they really enjoyed seeing that and whatever.
So if you want to check that out,
so it was worth it. And watching that for me, I sort of after watching, I thought to myself, maybe I could revisit the show now.
Good. I want to go back.
The early seasons, maybe not, but the later seasons I really enjoyed.
I love it all. Love it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're going to rewatch it, you got to start from
the beginning. Well, it says Alicia doesn't particularly like season 1, and I think we've watched it together at least 2 times.
Yeah.
I think we're on our 3rd rewatch together.
Right.
And every time she's like, I don't want to watch season 1 again. I'm like, no, you have to go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Get the full experience.
Yeah.
So that's great. Anyway, so if you want to check that out, here in Australia, it's on Binge and on Foxtel. In the UK, it's on Sky. In the US, it's HBO Max.
Right.
And it's available globally, I think. So, I don't know, figure out wherever you are.
At one stage, there was an episode of it playing...
I mean the reunion itself I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah. But the show itself at one stage, what was it? It was like...
Yeah, it's airing it, I think it's still is.
Airing every day of the minute somewhere in the world.
It's airing at every moment of every day. It's airing somewhere in the world at every moment on television.
And we did a tour of the Warner Brothers studio.
Yeah.
And they had the set up there.
Yeah, it was great.
The coffee shop set up there. And the tour guide was telling us at the time there that the actors were still being paid royalties for that.
Of course they are, yeah.
And at that stage, that was 2011.
Yeah, about that.
They were getting $25 million each a year.
Yeah.
Just
I guarantee it's more now.
And they're probably still getting that.
Well, they're saying something like how many billion times it's been streamed alone.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. It was incredible.
They would still be making. They'd be making more of that. They'd be making more than that now.
You would
with all
think
these.
so.
And you see merchandise for it everywhere now. It's like had this resurgence because it's like it was the number 1 on Netflix for so long. And it's everywhere. Merchandise and shit has just come out of nowhere. Anyway, I didn't want to talk about that for too long. We're pushing it again. Let's do the Deadwood update.
Okay, this week on Deadwood.
Yeah.
Don't know what happened because we didn't see it.
Didn't fucking watch it.
No,
Shit.
sorry, Sam. I don't think we can get back to it. It's so boring that I don't know if we can finish it off.
I'm over it. So tired.
Oh my god.
Fucking hell.
We just haven't had time this week.
Defeated.
So next week we're gonna have to catch up.
Well, yeah.
Although we had a week gap. We're going to have a week gap.
Well, we were going to leave a week gap between the last episode and the movie
to coincide with episode 40 of the podcast.
So we either watch 2 this week or we just don't have that week gap.
We'll see how we go and do it. We'll get at least one.
We'll get at least one in this week.
Sorry, Sam.
Only because I was out one night and it just threw the week out.
Yeah, and you had a few other things going on during the week as well, so it sort of made it difficult to sort of find the time to do it.
Yeah.
It wasn't so much me, it was you.
Yeah, I know, I threw it out, I'm sorry.
No, well,
but then we had to catch up on our reality shows because you can't be too far behind on like Big Brother or The Apprentice because I get spoiled on Twitter or you just fall behind on the episodes.
Yeah, that's right.
So, you got to get into it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So we will get at least one this week.
We'll get at least one in this week. I saw Cruella this week. So we've talked about, again, Wacko Jacko gets annoyed that we go from movies to TV back to movies, but now we're talking about the new movies that just come out. I saw Cruella. You didn't catch this one.
No.
This is available on Disney Plus and in cinemas right now. Not in Melbourne, in cinemas if you're in Melbourne. Of course I am. It's out now.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I just said that. I posted my review. Remember, this is the one I had to post the review for at like 2 a.m.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So I saw it. You didn't see it. As I said, it's on Disney Plus and in theatres right now. Not in Melbourne, because if you're in Melbourne, theatres are closed.
Theatres are closed.
For a week.
At least.
At least. But it's on Disney Plus for that $30 Premier access. I really liked it. I wasn't sure what to think going into this. It's got Emma Stone as Cruella, so that was the one thing I was like, yeah, I'll get along. Well, obviously it's a Disney movie, so I'm going to see them all. But Emma Stone was the one thing that had me like a glimmer of hope for this. but I really liked it. It's really good. It's surprisingly very, very good.
Well, it's not really my sort of... I don't know. Have I seen the first one? I don't know if I've even watched the first one.
Oh, you would have when I was a kid. 101 Dalmatians with Glenn Close. I'm sure you would have when I was a kid.
Maybe.
Unless it was one that Nan took me to see at the movies. And
I can't remember.
I don't really like it.
So it's not really one that I was looking forward to. But everything I've read and seen, people are raving about it.
Yeah, a lot of people saying I didn't think much going in, and that's really good.
Yeah.
Only real issue for me was it's like 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's too long.
Right.
It doesn't really feel... You don't really feel the length of it until the end, but it gets to a point where you're like, let's wrap it up. Yeah. It's getting a bit long in the tooth.
Right.
But otherwise, it's very, very, very good. Very good. I was surprised how good... It's just another one of those movies that doesn't take themselves too seriously. It dives straight into just being stupid and over the top, and her performance is incredible. And
she looks like she'd really suit the role.
Like watching the trailers and stuff, I was like, oh, I don't know how good this is. I don't know how... Because it's very campy, over the top. But in the context of the film, it works really well. Emma Thompson's in there as well as a villain. She's fantastic. She's always great. But she's always good. So good. And they're all really good in this. It was just... I won't say too much more. I've got a full review. If you want to check out my full thoughts on it, you can check that out. I'll link that below, or just go to my channel and check it out. But I really liked it. I thought it was really, I think you like.
I'll have to check it out.
I think you will like it. It was very good. I think the way they did it really kind of grungy. They said it in like punk rock 1970s London, and just the aesthetic of it all was really quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very enjoyable.
So I'll check it out.
Get along and check it out.
Yeah.
Let's play a game this week.
You're going to change it up a bit this week?
We're going to change it up because I love Shite or Alright.
Shite or Alright's great.
It's our favourite segment. A lot of people are loving it. Some people have called it their beloved. My beloved segment. I'm really wary about burning it out. So we're going to play a new game this week. It's called Fantales Game. If you are watching out there, you can see we've got a bag of Fantales. I have to explain these to our American view, or for our international
viewers. Yeah.
These are an Australian candy or sweet.
Or in Australia, we call them lollies.
They're made by Allen's manufacturer. They're the best manufacturer of lollies, I personally believe. So if you want to sponsor us, get on it, Allen's.
I love Allen's lollies. Buy them every week.
Yeah, they've been around. Now, these Fantales have been around since 1930.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I knew they were around when I was a kid. So
yeah. Now
So maybe I thought it was earlier than that.
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
Yeah. Well, they are chocolate-covered caramels, which is interesting because you don't like caramel, but you love these.
I actually love them. I really, really like those. We used to have another lolly when we were a kid called Mates, and they were the same sort of thing. We used to love them.
Now, each one has a wrapper with a movie star biography on them.
Well, it's not just movie stars, because
I think it used to just be movie stars, but they've changed. Oh shit! I hit the applause button. I was thinking, what the hell is that?
Well, they used to have Who Am I's and basically about what a movie for movies and stuff
just
like
trivia,
that.
like movie trivia. But they were originally called Fantales because they were all little biographies of film stars. Yeah. It's more like a trivial thing now. And they do actually change the wrappers every 2 years to keep them topical.
Really?
There you go, yeah. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to...
Oh, I need delicious.
This is also an excuse to just enjoy some candy on the show.
Yeah, delicious.
Really good. I've got to be careful because these will break my teeth.
Pull fillings out.
Yeah. So basically what we're going to do, we'll do 2 or 3 of them. We're going to open up our Fantale. We've already done that. We're going halfway.
Already eaten them.
And we're just going to each read out the little trivia to each other, and we're going to see if the other person will get the trivia or not. And whoever gets the most at the end wins.
Yeah.
So we'll do 3 each?
Yep.
Okay. That means you get 3 candies each.
Delicious.
Okay. You go first.
Okay. Who am I?
Yep.
Born in Sydney in 1983.
Yep.
She was raised in the Australian rural town of Gunnedah, but moved to Brisbane for her schooling. Mm-hmm. Her modelling career took all... Oh, shit. Sometimes it's a little difficult to read. Her modelling career took off after winning a Dolly magazine competition at age 13 in 1997. She has since appeared in many Australian fashion campaigns. In 2006, she relocated to the United States.
I think I know who it is.
Where she signed a lucrative cosmetics contract with Maybelline. She was the first Australian Victoria's Secret model and currently lives in New York with her Yorkshire Terrier called Frankie. She is an actor. Oh, that's going to give it away.
Yeah, it gets... The further down it goes, the more obvious it gets.
Yeah. She and...
So let's maybe not...
She and her actor husband...
Right.
have a son together named Flynn. She married Evan... Oh, that's going to give it away.
Don't do the easy parts. We'll just do the hard bits.
Okay, so that's as much as I can give you.
Actually, I don't know. First Australian Victoria's Secret model. The only person I can think of is maybe Elle Macpherson. How many guesses do we get? One each.
Just have another one.
First Australian Victoria's Secret model.
Yep. She is the first Australian Victoria's Secret model and currently lives in New York with a Yorkshire Terrier called Frankie.
Lives in New York.
She and her famous actor husband
have
a son together.
I know Hugh Jackman lives in New York.
No, this is a woman.
I know, but I'm saying she would be living with her husband.
Mm-hmm.
New York. Australian. I don't know, actually.
Oh, you should get this one easy. Okay, so now I'll give you the easy.
Yeah.
Right. So she lives in New York with a Yorkshire Terrier called Frankie. She and actor Orlando Bloom have a son together.
Oh, see, I had her in my head. Miranda Kerr.
Yeah, Miranda Kerr. Yeah. That's right. So she's married Evan Spiegel in 2017, and together they have 2 children.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Still sort of working our way how to play this game.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a game. Oh shit! I didn't even read you my one before I got into the second. Okay. So, what was I going to say? Okay. So I feel like there's a TV show where it's a similar thing like this, where they used to have a Who Am I, and then after every line, you get a chance to answer, and if not, you can keep going. And
the earlier you got it, the more points you got.
Ah, right. Feels like Sailor Century or something, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Anyway, so we'll try and...
There was.
I reckon it was Sailor Century. Anyway, so let's do this one, right? Who am I? Born in 1963.
Good year. That's a good year, that.
He's an American actor and film producer. He first gained recognition as a cowboy hitchhiker in the road movie Thelma and Louise, then had leading roles in big-budget productions. A River Runs Through It, Interview with the Vampire, Legends of the Fall, and played the legendary Achilles in the movie Troy. He's given... This is where it starts to get more obvious.
Brad Pitt.
Correct.
Got it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Woohoo!
So that's 1 and 0.
60, because I knew he was born in 63, and then Thelma and Louise, I was thinking, and I remember him, but I couldn't picture the face. But when you said Legends of the Fall, I thought...
He's got the hairdresser.
Yep, that's
Thelma
right.
and Louise.
Yep.
Topless, of course, in a cowboy hat.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What movie am I?
Oh.
Named after Renaissance artists and trained in ninjutsu.
Mm-hmm.
These 4 characters fight against the evils of society from their home in the storm sewers of New York City.
Oh, obvious. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yep, got it.
Got to be.
So read the rest of it out?
Yeah.
New York City. Originating as a comic in 1984, the characters made their way into mainstream cartoon series, video games, toys and films. with the most recent being released in 2014. These masked characters are often accompanied by their sensei, Splinter, and friends April O'Neil and Cassie Jones.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, obvious. So the rest of the Brad Pitt one was he's given critically acclaimed performances in Seven, Fight Club, Moneyball, 12 Years a Slave, earning him a Golden Globe Awards and Academy Award nominations. He's also a father of 6 children with actress Angelina Jolie.
Ah.
Okay, so next one for you. Oh, interesting one. So this is what? My second. So one left each after this.
Yep.
Just got to swallow that bit of caramel. All right, born on 29th of April 1956 in New York and named Jerome, this comedian is one of the most famous of his generation. He found his fame as a stand-up comedian where he excelled in observational humour and satire, using his everyday life experiences as inspiration, especially those awkward social encounters. It gets a little bit more obvious the more we go.
So did I say what year he was born?
54.
Observational comedian.
Observational comedy and satire.
Not Robin Williams.
No. Yeah, one more try. Jerome. Born in New York. He's one of the most famous comedians of his generation.
Seinfeld?
Correct.
There we go.
Yeah, he's a Superman fan, starring alongside him in a series of television commercials and including the character in the long-running sitcom series that carries the star's own name. There you go.
Yeah, cool.
Jerry.
Okay, I've got a Who Am I?
Yep.
Born February 3 in Sydney, Australia. Another Australian.
Yep.
Born February 3 in Sydney, Australia. She is an actress, writer, and stand-up comedian.
When was she born, sorry?
Just says February 3. It doesn't give a year.
Oh, right.
Writer and stand-up comedian. She trained in Australia's ATYP. What's that?
Australian Youth. What is that? ATYP?
Australian Theatre
Youth. I don't know. Something like that, probably.
Maybe, I don't know. ATYP and the acclaimed Second City Improv School in New York.
Right.
She appeared as Tula in the SBS comedy series Pizza from 2003 and gained her breakout role in 2011's Bridesmaids.
Oh.
Leading Variety to name her one of the top 10 comics to watch in 2011. In 2012, she starred in the musical comedy Pitch Perfect.
Yeah, I was going to say it has to be Rebel Wilson. It has to be Rebel Wilson.
I think so, because it's chopped off at the bottom.
Oh, it is chopped off. It has to be.
It has to be her.
Yeah, Fat Amy in Pitch Perfect.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
So there you
That's
go.
Rebel Wilson. There you go.
Fat Amy in Pitch Perfect, where she, as the role of Fat Amy, earned her several award nominations, followed by another busy year in 2013, where she starred in Pain and Gain alongside Mark Wahlberg and Dwayne Johnson.
Don't remember her in that. Cool. Opening one more. Here we go. I hope people are enjoying this segment. I am.
Yeah, because they're delicious.
They're lovely. Oh, okay. This is the last one. Born in Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. No. In 1954, she graduated from Tennessee State University in speech and performing arts. She's a media personality known for her self-titled, multi-award-winning talk show, which is the highest-rated program in history. In one show, she gave... It's just so much more obvious from then on.
Oprah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be.
So obvious. In one show, she gave members of the audience brand new cars. It ended in 2011 when she began her own television network. The Ultimate Australian Adventure saw her bring her entire show to Australia in 2011, where she had guests such as Hugh Jackman and Russell Crowe, filming one episode on the steps of the Opera House. In 2013, she was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, an honorary doctorate from Harvard.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. So that's
a bit of fun.
That's the Fantales game. That was fun for us.
So get out. We haven't got a theme for that, have we?
No, I'll put something over the top.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Went down the funny way.
Delicious.
So we enjoyed eating some candies and reading some trivia. I hope it was interesting to listen to. Let us know.
Let us know if it wasn't. If it wasn't, we won't do it again. We'll just eat them.
We'll just, exactly right.
And if we eat all those, we want us to go buy another pack.
Yeah, exactly. They are nice.
Or 4.
Yeah, of course. Whoop. All right. So, I want to very briefly, we're at an hour now. I got to wash that down.
So we got all... Oh, no, I got all mine. You missed one.
Yeah, I missed one, so you win this week.
Woohoo!
I want to very briefly talk about... you can see it if you're watching, but if you're not watching, you can't. Got a box of DVDs. What's new? These have been sent in by a group called Randomspace Media. They're a distributor here in Australia. They've been around for a few years, but they kind of been flying under the radar a little bit. I'm going to do a whole video on them. I'm going to film it tomorrow. It'll be up this week. But I just want to briefly talk about them on the podcast as well. They've kind of been flying under the radar a little bit. And I only discovered them because they issued this classic cult Eddie Murphy film from the 80s called The Golden Child.
Yep.
It's like a fantasy adventure comedy. Great. One of my favourite Eddie Murphy films.
It is good.
Never came out on Blu-ray, and they've just released it on Blu-ray over in the US and the UK. And I was kind of looking on Amazon. I was looking on Amazon Australia to see if I could import it through the global store, and an Australian edition of it came up. I thought, what the hell is this? Why didn't I hear about this? Went looking, wasn't on JB website, wasn't on Easy DVD, wasn't on Sanity. You could get it on Amazon through like a third-party seller, and you get on eBay through eBay sellers. And then, what is the deal with this? Did a little digging. Turns out it's been released by this group called Randomspace Media. Did a little bit more digging. I emailed them. I found out that there were a couple of other releases that they had put out that had kind of flown under the radar. One in particular is this one, The Great. Is that show that we we loved so much? Elle Fanning, Nicholas Hoult, where she plays, was it Catherine the Great? Yeah. Terrific program. They released this on Blu-ray. I found this on the global store as well. You can only get the DVD on general
JB
release.
and stuff,
And JB and wherever else. I kind of thought, what is going on?
Caramel stuck in my
teeth. I'm trying. I've got it here. I was thinking, what's going on with these guys? Anyway, they're legit, because that's the first thing you think is like, why aren't these appearing at JB and stuff? Did a bit of digging. Some people that I knew about them, but they're just this smaller company who release things through smaller distributors. Right. I reached out to them because I was like, hey, you're releasing some awesome stuff, because over the last few months I've noticed a few other things pop up. Just on like Blu-ray.com, I see them there and I'm like, oh, this is another one from this Randomspace Media. I reached out, I was like, hey guys, just interested to learn a little bit about you, and if I can possibly help get your name out there a little bit, I'm happy to do anything that I can do for you guys. They check out my stuff. They're like, we love your stuff. We love the support that you give to the local media industry, particularly physical media and stuff, and like, we're going to send you a bunch of stuff. You can spotlight it for us, and hopefully have like an ongoing partnership for like haul videos and, do individual videos for their big release and stuff like that. Their releases are, again, as I said, all official, 100% official. They're developed in partnership with Universal Sony Pictures Home Entertainment. So they have a really good relationship with Universal, who I deal with as well. I deal with them, and I deal with a few of their branches as well, their home media arms, to do releases and stuff. They have told me that a lot of because I kind of said, I know a lot of people are going to be asking, why aren't these released on a wider scope? Why have these particular titles, stuff like Avatar: The Last Airbender, the complete collection, in this really gorgeous box set? Again, I'll be spotlighting these properly in a video.
That's those bloody Fantales, though. You've got to stop eating Fantales.
Fantale went down. I've still got the Fantale in my mouth. And the chocolate's just like dripping down a little bit. They did a big Breaking Bad box set, pardon me, which has got the El Camino film in it as well. So I was like, why can't we get these? JB, all that kind of stuff. He's like, well, a lot of these titles are titles that just typically wouldn't get a Blu-ray release on the local market. Yeah. Stuff that might not sell well. So something like The Great, which got a DVD, but then, pardon me, didn't get a wide release Blu-ray. Probably wouldn't sell that well on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Something like The Golden Child is such a cult, random Eddie Murphy film, probably wouldn't sell that well. So a lot of the titles are typically things that wouldn't get a local Blu-ray release on the Australian market.
And they sort of aim their stuff towards collectors, really, don't they?
That's what I was about to say. Yeah. In the case of the special editions like Avatar, they're really gearing stuff towards collectors.
Yeah.
They know that the people who are still buying physical media primarily are collectors.
Yeah.
So they want to gear a lot of their stuff towards the collectors.
Yep.
So instead of, I guess, Universal licensing their titles out to someone like Umbrella or something, they're still releasing them officially, but through a smaller distributor.
Yeah.
Who then you can get their titles through smaller distributors, smaller third-party things on Amazon, whatever, or through their own website. Now, I don't want to use their word exclusives because they're not always exclusive. Occasionally, you can find some of their titles at JB.
Yeah.
Very occasionally, you can find one. You're like, oh, this is one of the Randomspace, for example. I've seen there's a John Carpenter 4K collection. I saw that sitting on the shelf at JB.
Right.
So not all of them, they're not exclusive 100% of the time. But a lot of them, you got to go through Randomspace Media to get them or one of their things. Anyway, they've just started up their own website. It's Randomspace Media. I just want to double check if I want to make sure it's .com or .au. Randomspacemedia.com. You can go there. They've just set up a brand new web shop, and this all just kind of came together after I reached out to them because that wasn't up there a few days ago. So
Yellowstone as well.
They've got like a box set, a Yellowstone box set.
Awesome.
1 to 3 on DVD. But they've got some really great stuff. Again, I'm going to do a whole video where I spotlight this big box of stuff they sent over. Terrific stuff. And I'm launching a sort of a promo with them at the moment. So I wanted to give it a bit of air on the podcast as well.
Yep.
So if you're interested to go over and check out what they're selling, like there's a Fast and the Furious 9 movie collection on Blu-ray. And like that is, that's only $50 Australian.
Jesus.
$50.
How much will we pay for all the others?
Well, we probably paid $10, $15 each, right?
Wow.
Stuff like, let's have a look, like the Avatar. We're talking Avatar The Last Airbender, great box set, $60. So really well priced. But
awesome.
if you get on, and it's free shipping as well for Australian customers.
Do you have to spend a certain amount to get free shipping?
No, it's free shipping. Just
really?
Free. But I created like a cart. I put one item. I put a few items in. It was free. I put one item in and it was still free. So I'm assuming it's free shipping. Let's do it again. Right? 1, checkout.
Come on, check it.
Check it out. I did it before. Put my email in. Oh, I don't. Put my email in, put my address in, and it's free shipping. But if you're buying from New Zealand, I think you can only order from Australia and New Zealand. If you're New Zealand, it's like $10, like $9.95 shipping.
Yep.
But if you get on there, again, great stuff, most of which you're unlikely to find
anywhere
on a wide release.
Mm.
Go over there, check them out. If you use the discount code at checkout, Dave10, you'll get 10% off your order.
Oh, awesome.
And that is valid until the end of June.
And you've got to reiterate, you get nothing out of that too.
I get nothing out of it.
No.
It's other than a big box of DVDs.
Well, you're exactly right. But, it's just trying to keep...
Yeah, it's not on a commission basis or anything like that. This is just, I reached out, I was like, I want to help. Because for me as a collector, it just felt so random that something like it's so funny that it starts with The Golden Child, this Eddie Murphy film. I was like, it just felt really random. Well, Randomspace Media.
Yeah.
It just felt very random to me, and I wanted to know more. And I was like, I know you guys are legit. And even they said to me, we really want to alleviate people's worries, because I think even they're aware that from the outset, it's like, why?
Yeah.
Like, that's the main question. Why? I just want to help them out and get their word out there and get their releases out there, because there's so much stuff here that myself as a collector is like, holy shit. Like, even this one, Happiest Season. It's a movie that came out last year. It's a Hulu film overseas. Yep. Open in cinemas here. It's got Kristen Stewart, Mackenzie Davis, Alison Brie, Aubrey Plaza, Daniel Levy, Victor Garber, Mary Steenburgen.
Well, that's probably something that wouldn't get released here.
Only came out on DVD on a wide release. Oh, and I knew a number of people who were like, why is it not getting a Blu-ray here? It's such a good movie. Randomspace has put out a Blu-ray of it. So you can check them out. Head to their website and pick that up. So, yeah. So, again, there was so many of their releases. That was the third one I came across. And that's what I was like, I need to reach out to these guys. Yeah. Because what's going on, there's so many people who probably just went out and bought the DVD who aren't aware that you can get one on the local market without having to import. Yeah. You know, this is also my way of being like, if there's a local option, I'd prefer to support the local release. Right. So this is just my way of just wanting to help these guys get out there. I do all I can to keep physical media alive and burning and whatever else. Yep. I just want to help them out as much as I can because they're releasing stuff that I want to get, and I know they're releasing stuff that my audience wants to get as well. Yeah. So again, head over to randomspacemedia.com. Use the discount code DAVE10 at checkout. You'll get 10% off your full order.
Awesome.
So, absolutely awesome. Just want to give them a little bit of spotlight on the podcast as well because they're really great team over there doing this stuff. So,
so it's good. And they ship to Australia and New Zealand, don't they?
Australia and New Zealand, yeah. As far as I could see, there wasn't international shipping, but they did tell me the code is Australia, New Zealand customers only. Right. So, there you go. Cool stuff. Randomspace Media.
Get on and check them out.
Love it.
No, that's not. They're not sponsoring or anything like
that. No. I just wanted to help them out, and they sent me some stuff. They said give us a spotlight. So again, I will be doing like a full video on that if you want to check that out.
Awesome.
Probably in the next couple of days. There's a couple of big trailers have been released this week. Let's take a look at the trailer for the Eternals. We've been talking about this a little bit over the last week. Over the last couple of weeks, this is the film by Chloe Zhao, who did Nomadland, the one we watched a few weeks ago with Frances McDormand, the Academy Award-winning film. And this is her next film, which is a Marvel film. It's a big studio film. People have been saying, wait till you see the Eternals. Check out the trailer for this one.
Yeah.
I was keen to hear what you think.
I don't know anything about this.
We have watched. Unguided, we have helped them progress and seen them accomplish wonders. Throughout the years, we have never interfered until now.
Thank you for this.
Oh, you're welcome.
So now that Captain Rogers and Iron Man are both gone, who do you think's gonna lead the Avengers?
I could lead them.
It looks all right.
Marvel Studios Eternals.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
I look forward to that.
Yeah.
Later this year.
Gorgeous. But beautifully shot.
Yeah.
Like we've watched.
Marvel Studios, what do you expect?
Yeah, no, but it's Chloe Zhao. Look at that. That is. Yeah. That's Nomadland.
Yeah.
Isn't it? The way that's been shot is
it's
gorgeous.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
They just let her do what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like I've seen the interviews with Kevin Feige, he's been like, she just did whatever she wanted. And there's one interview where I think I said it a couple of weeks ago actually, where he was like, oh yeah, she wanted to bring so much to the studio. And I thought, oh, look what she's bringing to Marvel. That's great. And then he watched Nomadland. He's like, no, she's just doing.
She's doing what she does.
Yeah. Looks beautiful. A lot of people complaining that it's not very colourful or anything like that. But I think that's fine. Not a lot of them. If you look at the colour palettes of a lot of Marvel movies, they're not vibrant.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's fine. I think it looks really interesting.
Absolutely gorgeous.
So essentially, these are like, they've been around for billions of years. They're like space beings. They were there at the dawn of the universe. And they've seen everything. And they've been watching everything that's been happening for billions of years.
Yeah.
And now finally, they've decided it's now time that they need to reveal themselves to Earth for whatever reason. Probably coming out of the back of Endgame, where Thanos has come and destroyed everything. They're like, shit, we got to get down there now.
Yeah. I look forward to that.
Yeah, it looks very good.
That looks great.
What are your thoughts?
She's good. She's a great filmmaker.
I know.
Just her camera angles and...
That's what they're saying. Well, she obviously won Best Director last year.
And stuff are just gorgeous.
Won Best Film, and they're saying this film right here could be a serious contender next Academy Awards.
It is beautiful.
Gorgeous. Like for a studio blockbuster film, insane. And bloody Marv was lucky to nab them when they did before she won all the awards and stuff.
Even that last scene there in the when they're having dinner, it's just beautiful, beautifully lit.
Yeah. What a great cast too.
Wow.
And what I'm particularly excited about is Kumail Nanjiani has got jacked for the role. He's fucking huge.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think you see it that much in this trailer, but there are pictures of him where he's got his top off and he's fucking huge.
Really?
Yeah, he got absolutely jacked for the film. So I'm so excited to just, to see...
Spend some time with Hemsworth.
Oh, yeah, exactly right. And you see Chris Pratt, how Chris... all of these guys weren't particularly big before they got into Marvel, and just it's so fascinating for me to see that transformation.
Yeah.
It's crazy. What were your thoughts on, this is interesting, what were your thoughts on this last little scene where they do the name drop of Captain America and Iron Man?
Fantastic.
You loved it?
Love it.
I'm not a fan.
No?
No.
I love it.
Only because
I love that crossover.
I love the crossover, but I feel like at this point it's like the same joke every time.
And I think that's the beauty of it.
I don't know. It's at this time I'm like, I get the fact that they're connected. That's great. There's one shot in here where there's a Captain America shield in the background.
I didn't notice that.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love the little visual nods and stuff.
Yeah.
But then I'm starting to tire of the, hey, Steve Rogers, Iron Man. Oh, yeah. And I feel like it's done in every movie. And it's like...
No, so the thing I like about that in there is that it was unexpected. You wouldn't expect them to talk about
but
Captain
I did
American
expect
stuff.
it because they do it in every movie.
And
Because they
yeah,
want...
but I think that's
part
of the charm of it.
It's them. It's obviously... I understand what it is. I understand that it's Marvel telling the general audience, hey, this is connected to the Avengers movies.
That part's a bit...
But as someone... What do you mean?
Well, having to make that link.
Well, yeah, I know. And I imagine Chloe Zhao probably wouldn't have been happy. Oh, I'm not going to say that, but I imagine, I know a lot of filmmakers going there, they want to make their own film, and then Marvel goes, you have to put this in, and they kind of go, I got to do it. I mean, who knows? She was probably very happy to do it, but I know there have been filmmakers in the past who've clashed heads with Marvel who have imposed, you need to name drop Iron Man, or you need to put Captain America's shield here, or something.
But it works there because they're setting up a joke.
Yeah, but see,
it's part of the setup of that
for
joke.
me, it's the same joke every time.
Yeah, no, I don't mind that.
They've been doing it. Ant-Man. It was, never trust a Stark. Okay, got it. And then there was...
Well, it's like Family Guy. They have the same joke all the time. There are jokes running through it all the time.
I don't know.
You know?
Yeah, but it's
not labour the point.
Nah, that's not Family Guy, though.
No. I get that, but I don't mind
I
it.
don't mind it, but I just feel like it doesn't need to be so, I just feel like, okay, I get it. I got it. I don't care that there's a stinger at the end. There's always a joke at the end. That's fine. I just feel like it's always that same joke. Oh, hey, Iron Man. Oh, yeah. I don't know.
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
Because
Me.
I see, well, they've obviously said it's part of the setup of a joke, and that joke wouldn't have worked without it.
Yeah, I get it. I get why they have to do it.
And do you reckon that might be an end credit scene?
I doubt it. Well, maybe. They wouldn't put it past them. They've done that before.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That sort of looks like an end credit scene to me.
Yeah. Could be. There's another big trailer that's coming out.
But it does look good.
It does look great. Other than my little niggles that I have, I'm just becoming that pessimistic
30-year-old old man.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just want to see him do just not the same joke every movie. But other than that, everything else looks so unique and so completely different and new and exciting that I'll forgive it this time.
Yeah, no. But it just looks gorgeous.
Looks fantastic.
She's a magnificent film.
I'm not in... I don't know. There's not... Other than the Chloe... it looks gorgeous. I'm not as excited for it as I could be, but I'm really keen to see it.
Right.
Because of what it is, what she's going to... And I know it's going to blow me away.
Yeah.
But from that trailer, other than the visuals and stuff, I don't get much out of it narratively or anything. I don't know. But it looks great.
We were the same with Iron Man.
Well, yeah, true.
So who knows?
Anyway, Disney put out another huge trailer this week. I know we're pushing time at the moment, but Jungle Cruise.
Yep.
They've released, I think maybe there's been 2 trailers before because this is the one they keep pushing back.
That's right. It was Stuart 2019, was it?
Do you know 2019 because it was coming out it was coming out Christmas, and then I think they kind of realized this movie's going to be really good, so they pushed it to 2020 in the middle of the year. so that they
could
have a summer release, and then COVID happened and they pushed into this year. So anyway, we've got another trailer. This is actually called Official Trailer 2, so I think we must have had a teaser, and then the last official trailer was last year.
Oh, God.
I actually remember I was in England when the first trailer dropped, the teaser. So it must have been 2019. Yeah, 2019 that did the teaser. So anyway, let's take a very brief look at this. I'm keen to hear what you think about Jungle Cruise. I actually haven't watched this trailer yet either, so this is fresh to me.
My name is Dr. Lily Houghton. My brother and I are looking for passage upriver.
What's out there in the jungle? It's not a fun vacation.
Well, I'm not here for a vacation.
Legend has it that there is a tree that possesses unparalleled healing power. It will change medicine forever.
And you need someone to help you find it. Here we go.
Sometimes it just needs a bit of a...
Nobody touches my engine but me. What did I just...
There you go.
Jungle Cruise. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Emily Blunt, Jack Whitehall. You can really tell the movie's really dated by how young Jack Whitehall looks in it.
Yeah.
You know that it's been shot like 4 or 5 years ago. What are your thoughts?
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah?
I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, okay.
Well, probably looks a bit kitsch, but
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be.
yeah.
It's like a pulp adventure.
Yeah, I suppose. I'll watch it. I think it'll be okay.
I'm fucking hyped for this.
Yeah, I know you are.
This is like
It's been for ages.
this is like my number one anticipated Disney movie for
The
like
last 4 years.
Yeah, running. I'm so excited for this because you know what it feels like? It feels like those early Pirates of the Caribbean films.
Oh, yeah.
Just
yeah.
dumb fun.
And I'm sure it's going to be a success because The Rock's in it and everything. He should be cool.
Yeah.
He's the Midas man.
Rock
Everything
is,
he touches turns
Rock
to
is
gold.
awesome, yeah. Emily Blunt, I love.
Paul Giamatti,
Paul
Jesse
Giamatti's in
Plemons.
it, yeah.
Jesse
Great
Plemons.
cast.
I love Jesse Plemons.
Really great cast.
Yeah.
I'm just so excited for it. It looks great. It looks exciting. It's funny. It's got good laughs in there. It's got some great action. It just feels very Pirates. You can tell that they really are trying to build another franchise out of it.
Yeah.
Very excited. Obviously based on a theme park as well.
I look forward to watching it. Yeah.
Theme park ride attraction.
That's right. We've done that, right, too?
Yeah, the Jungle Cruise just goes down the river.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Pirates was based on an attraction as well. So they both,
it was too.
so they're both attraction-inspired films. I'm looking forward to it. It looks great.
Yeah. When's that due out?
That is due out on July 30th. It's going to go to Disney Plus and theaters.
Okay. So it will come out this time.
It will come out this time. It's going to Premier Access on Disney Plus.
Oh, right.
So hopefully we're not still in lockdown then.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. Jungle Cruise. Excited about that one.
Yeah, that'll be right.
Um,
I'm not as excited to see that as I am in the Eternals, but
yeah,
because Eternals
interesting.
looks so good. But Jungle, yeah, it'll be a bit of fun.
It's flipped for me, I think. I don't know. It's weird because it's funny because Eternals is Marvel. I'm always so hyped for Marvel stuff, but I just.
Well, the Eternals. I don't know about the storyline.
Yeah,
with the Eternals, but just the visuals.
Visual looks stunning.
I mean, because that's what I did for a living. It was my job was all visual.
Yeah, two vastly different movies though, really. But this Jungle Cruise I've been amped for fucking 4 years, so just give it to me now, Disney, please. Please, I want it now.
Yeah, no, it looks like a bit of typical, Dwayne Johnson fun.
Yeah, cross Pirates of the Caribbean, Indiana Jones, pulp-inspired adventure.
Yeah.
Okay,
awesome.
very quick bit of news this week. Amazon, last week we talked about Amazon were eyeing off buying MGM.
Yeah,
they done it.
They did.
They did it 8.4.
They did.
$8.45 billion.
God.
THR, Hollywood Reporter, calls it a landmark mega deal. They have acquired MGM Holdings, whose storied studio boasts one of the largest film and TV libraries. In a bid to turbocharge its Prime membership offering to consumers, because there's dick all on Amazon Prime most of the time, like original content, and offering to customers and potentially mine the intellectual properties of franchises such as James Bond and Rocky. Mike Hopkins, Senior VP of Prime Video and Amazon Studios, says the real financial value behind this deal is the treasure trove of IP and the deep catalogue that we plan to reimagine and develop together with MGM's talented team. It's very exciting and provides so many opportunities for high-quality storytelling. Bezos, Jim, wait.
Jeff.
Jim's
Jim's poor brother. His poorer brother doesn't have as many billions as Bezos.
It's like the Simpsons episode where Homer's got the rich brother. He develops the Homer car for him.
Yeah,
Jeff gets Jim to come in and what do you reckon we should buy? MGM? Yeah. So Jeff Bezos has said...
company bust.
Yeah. Jeff Bezos said the acquisition thesis here is really very simple. MGM has a vast, deep catalogue of much-beloved intellectual property, and with the talent at Amazon and the talent at MGM Studio, we can reimagine and develop that IP for the 21st century. It will be a lot of fun work, and people who love stories will be the big beneficiaries. So a lot of people are complaining now, oh, they've only done this so they can make more reboots and remakes and all that kind of shit, which you just see. As long as they're good, exactly right. Well, they're already working on that Lord of the Rings series, aren't they? That like really super duper expensive.
I don't know, are they?
Yeah, we spoke about it a few weeks ago. The super duper expensive Lord of the Rings.
Ago.
Remember? It's like the most expensive TV series of all time.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you remember? No.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, they're making this Amazon Lord of the Rings series the most expensive television series of all time. So they've just acquired the full rights to the Hobbit film franchise now and Lord of the Rings. So I imagine that was a big impetus behind it. Anyway, so that's probably what they're going to start doing. Hollywood Reporter continues to say that MGM boasts a film library of around 4,000 titles, 17,000 hours of TV programming. Includes stuff like Rocky and Creed franchise, the Hobbit films, the Hannibal films, Fargo, which of course is an ongoing TV series, and Bond. Now, Bond is co-owned by Eon Productions, which was run by Michael G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli. Now, Cubby Broccoli was the producer. Her father, Cubby Broccoli, was the mega producer, mastermind behind the first Bond films. So those Bond movies have always been in the hands of the Broccolis. So now they're sharing the ownership with Amazon as opposed to MGM. And these producers of Bond came out almost immediately to assure everyone that they are committed to continuing to make James Bond films for the worldwide theatrical audience. You can imagine they might not be too happy with this deal. They've got this new partner on board who wants to mine this intellectual property for streaming. And they're going, holy shit, what does this mean for James Bond? Yeah. So hopefully No Time to Die will actually hit theatres. It's been supposed to be for the last 2 years. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there, particularly now that that's Bond 25. It's Daniel Craig's final film. This is definitely where Amazon could sweep in and go, nah, we're doing like a TV show now or
maybe
something.
Maybe the Bond franchise will die now.
Yeah, maybe. I wouldn't. I
reckon that's right, its course.
I don't think I'd be too disappointed if we didn't get another Bond.
I've never been a huge Bond fan.
And so
wouldn't bother me.
That's going to be interesting to just kind of follow that, see what happens. They've got a couple of big films planned. MGM had a couple of big films in the works. One is Ridley Scott's House of Gucci, which stars Lady Gaga and Adam Driver. Looks quite good. It's like a biopic on Gucci.
I like Adam Driver.
Yeah, he's great. And Gaga, she's great. And they're doing a sequel to Addams Family 2, animated sequel. So it'll be interesting to see what happens to those two movies. Yeah, the first one wasn't great.
Yeah.
Addams Family.
Why would you revisit
Pretty average, yeah. I don't know why they're doing a sequel, to be completely honest.
That's what I mean. Why would you revisit that?
Yeah, I don't know. Here's a bit of devastating news. Remember a few weeks ago we were talking about Citizen Kane was knocked off the #1 top spot on Rotten Tomatoes.
I do remember that.
Yeah, by Paddington 2.
Yep.
And we played the Kane or Paddington 2 game.
That's right.
Yeah, we read through the Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes, we did.
Paddington 2's been knocked down a perch.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Film Authority's Eddie Harrison loaded his 2017 review for the film onto Rotten Tomatoes just to knock it down a peg.
And he bagged it, did he?
Yeah. He said, the Hollywood Reporter phrased it, the new Paddington 2 review slammed the warm-hearted adventure film for having deviated from the spirit of Michael Bond's children's books, being contrived and ridiculous, with Paddington being overconfident, snide and sullen. He claimed considerations of race and identity key to the Paddington character are not addressed, and added that voice actor Ben Whishaw sounded like a member of some indie pop band coming down from an agonizing ketamine high. He slammed it, and this guy has obviously gone, fuck, I ain't having this. Paddington 2, top film, I'm going to load my review. And he's gone on there, he's knocked it down.
And slammed it.
Yeah.
My God.
Bit disappointing, but you know what's now knocked up to #1?
No.
Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2, rather, not Toy Story.
Oh, yeah. It's not as good as Toy Story 1, but I still love it.
Yeah, I know. People love it. I agree. Toy Story 1's the best, but Toy Story 2 is now the most rated. It's not... Rotten Tomatoes doesn't call it the best movie of all time. It's just the film that happens to have the highest percentage and score, review ratings and whatever. So there you go. Paddington 2's gone. Toy Story 2's up. Next week, there'll be some jerk-off coming out going, fuck, I hate this movie, and loading his 20-year-old
Wonder
review
what the next
up.
one in line is.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure we can find out, but I'm keen to just kind of roll with it, see what happens. We got some casting news for another Sony Spider-Verse film. They've hired Aaron Taylor-Johnson to play Kraven the Hunter.
I don't know him.
No?
Kraven the Hunter, I don't know.
No, Kraven the Hunter is a villain. This is one of Spider-Man's rogues gallery. Yeah. He debuted in 1964's Amazing Spider-Man 14, so he's been there since pretty much the beginning. The Marvel website says Kraven was a maniacal big game hunter who sought to defeat Spider-Man to prove that he was the greatest hunter in the world. Unlike other hunters, he typically disdained the use of guns or bow and arrows, preferring to take down large, dangerous animals with his bare hands, even though he often made elaborate preparations to weaken a quarry beforehand. He also used a mystical serum to give him similar strength to Spider-Man, but even without the serum, he was a threat to the wall crawler. Kraven's continual underestimation of the superhero's resourcefulness made him a frustrating quarry. There was a storyline in 1980 called Kraven's Last Hunt, where he defeated Spider-Man and buried him alive, and then took on the mantle. He assumed his identity of Spider-Man. So it sounds cool. Cool character. I don't know too much about him either. I've never really read much with Kraven the Hunter in it. Maybe some of the earlier comics. It's going to be interesting to see. My thing, we still don't really know what Sony are doing with these Spider-Man movies, because we don't know if they're tied to the MCU Spider-Man, and by effect whether they're like tied to the MCU in some strange way. Kevin Feige is adamant that no, these are not part of our universe, whereas Amy Pascal, who used to be head of Sony, was saying, oh, no, there's definitely links there to the MCU Spidey. And there's this great interview where she's saying all this, oh, yeah, there's definitely links, and Kevin Feige's sitting there like this. Like, you can tell he's thinking, what the fuck are you saying?
She wants there to be linked.
Yeah, exactly right. But who knows what they're doing? I mean, they've got the whole multiverse, Spider-Verse thing happening, allegedly, with the next film. So who knows what the link's going to be. But if this does link to the MCU, here's the next confusing thing, is that Aaron Taylor-Johnson, of course, played Quicksilver. The real Quicksilver, not the Ralph Boner Quicksilver from WandaVision. Yeah, he was Quicksilver in Age of Ultron.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see whether they are connected, or, again, it could be a multiverse thing, or... Yeah, who knows? It's going to be directed by J.C. Chandor, who directed A Most Violent Year. That was a film with Oscar Isaac and Jessica Chastain. I don't remember much of it, but it was a very, very good movie. Really liked. Did he get involved with the mob or something? I don't know. It was a good movie. He also directed All Is Lost, which was that film with Robert Redford on the boat.
Oh, yeah.
No, he got caught in a storm, and it's like there's no dialogue for the whole movie.
Oh, shit.
Pretty much. I liked it. I thought it was good. Yeah, I remember you didn't like it.
Yeah,
I thought it was quite. I thought it was all right. But you don't like silent stuff, or like subtitle shit or any of that.
Subtitle, I can't be bothered with.
Well, I've got a couple of subtitle-y movies that I need to watch soon.
Just suck it up and watch it.
Another Round. I'm so excited for that. Mads Mikkelsen won the best international feature at the Oscars this year. I'm so excited. I've got that.
Check that one.
Umbrella sent that in. We'll check it out. So that's going to be interesting. I'm keen to see that. So this joins, obviously, Sony's Spider-Verse of films, which includes the Venom franchise, Morbius the Vampire Hunter, which has got Jared Leto in it. This is supposed to open last year, but it's been pushed. And then now there's going to be Kraven. So they're making all these like Spider-Man villain origins. Another interesting thing is going to be this character's origin is so tied into Spider-Man that you wonder, how can you do it without Spider-Man in there?
Yeah.
Because this guy becomes a villain because he wants to prove that he can beat Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah.
And then it's like his whole comic book history is him trying to outdo Spider-Man in particular. So it's going to be interesting to see how they tackle that one. Here's another remake that's happening. Get excited for this one. You might want to scroll down and find out. You'll be super pumped. Warner Brothers is doing another Willy Wonka.
Oh, God. Just leave it alone.
Yeah, the last one. How bad was that?
Don't need it.
It's one of the worst movies ever, the Tim Burton one. Trash.
No, the first one was a perfect...
Gene Wilder film,
yeah. It was a perfect take
Great
on that
movie.
film. Great film.
A story, yeah. Beautiful book by Roald Dahl. The original book, the original film with...
I remember reading it as a kid.
Yeah.
I didn't read too much as a kid, but that was one I did read.
Yeah, the original film, Gene Wilder. Amazing. Iconic.
Yeah.
Really? A piece of cinema? Piece of family cinema? Great. So they're doing a third version of it now. They've cast Timothée Chalamet. I never know how to pronounce this guy's name. Timothée Chalamet.
Chalamet. I'd say Chalamet.
Yeah. That's him. You've got a picture of him, so you know who he is there. I'm not a huge fan of him.
I don't mind him.
Because I feel like he plays the same character every time, and he's so monotone.
I watched him in something fairly recently.
Yeah, we've seen him in heaps of stuff recently. And I don't know. He never quite interests me.
I can't imagine him in that role.
That's what I'm going to say. This is going to be strange because this is such a wild and fantastical role. I mean, Gene Wilder's take on the character was very reserved.
Yeah, but
it wasn't wacky, but he did it
perfect.
really beautifully. The Tim Burton version, Johnny Depp just took it just too far. So it's going to be interesting to see what extreme Timothée Chalamet brings to it.
Yeah, I can't picture him in the role.
No, me either.
I really can't.
It's like blindsided everyone because he's been in talks for ages and no one was like, there's no way it's going to happen. And yeah, so there you go. The only thing that's actually really got me, maybe piqued my interest a little bit, it's brought to us from the Paddington team. So director Paul King, who did the Paddington films, and producer David Heyman are putting this film together. David Heyman is like the super producer behind the Harry Potter films.
Okay.
And he's done a bunch of other just kind of not under the radar stuff, but a lot of other stuff like Gravity. He produced Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. A bunch of all these other movies where you wouldn't necessarily think, having seen like Harry Potter, Paddington, Gravity, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, a bunch of other stuff like that. So he kind of dips his fingers into a few bits and pieces. He hasn't got a huge filmography other than Harry Potter films and Paddington or whatever. But I think he's a really fantastic producer. So I am kind of interested to see what they bring to it. If anyone can make something out of this, I think it's the team behind Paddington, Harry Potter. I mean, there's got to be something that they can bring to it.
You can see them making it work. Yeah. But I just come back to Timothée Chalamet. I can't picture him. Look, he might be fantastic, and I hope he is.
Exactly right.
And I hope the film's great. It's a great story.
Well, how many times do people do this? Oh, Heath Ledger as the Joker? Oh,
yeah.
You know, and then they pull it off. So I'm keen to see what he does.
I'm keen to see it.
But at right now, like I'm not complaining. Oh fuck, this guy's Willy Wonka. No, I'm just like I don't see it right now. But I'm keen for him to prove us all wrong.
And they haven't started making it yet, or
no? I think they've just cast him, so it's probably early pre-production. It's got to be a musical as well, which is like the original one's a musical.
I love musicals.
Yeah, I know you do. The original one's a musical, but the songs aren't overbearing or anything like that. They're not classic songs. Candyman.
Candyman makes everything.
Yeah, that's the one. And then there's the song that Wonka sings. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. So this will be interesting to see what they do. I don't think it'll be like a straight remake. They'll probably do new music and stuff, but they haven't really revealed anything. Yeah, we've got a couple of questions here. That's the end of all the news for this week. A couple of questions to round it out. We've got two, I think we'll just do two this week. We've got a couple sent in from patrons. They sent this through on the patron community board. So, of course, any patrons out there who want to submit questions, you can do it through the community board there, or send me, a message on Patreon or wherever you want, email, whatever. Actually, I do have an email that I will read just after this.
Okay. One from Blake.
Yep.
You all know Blake up in Queensland.
Blake.
G'day, guys. Seeing as Disney has been aiming to set up Jungle Cruise as a potential franchise film, I'd be interested to see what other theme park attractions or rides you would like to see adapted for the screen. Personally, I'd love to see them do something interesting with Thunder Mountain.
That's my favourite one, the one that I got stuck on twice.
That's right.
Same spot, 2 days in a row, got stuck on it. Me and Alicia. So funny.
That's hilarious.
But it's actually my favourite Disney park ride.
Yeah.
Big Thunder Man. It's like a little runaway train on this mine cart.
Yeah.
Goes up and down the mountain. Yeah, we got stuck in it. Me and Alicia got stuck in it 2 days in a row at the exact same spot. Just as you're about to go, just as you enter the first cave and you're going up the incline, I was like, oh, fuck. Stuck. And then they slowly try and get you up, and then they evacuated us.
You had to get out of the thing and walk out, didn't you?
Yeah, they evacuated us off the ride.
Both times?
Both times.
God.
Someone had to come and open the things and then walk us down. It's quite funny. Yeah.
And they turn all the lights inside the the caves on
you
so
can
you
see
can
it
see
all.
them.
Yes, quite. But they're like, please don't film. They're like, no one's allowed to film. People do, of course. You can find videos on YouTube.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would say, I don't want to steal Blake's answer, but I'd like to see a Big Thunder film. Like it could be like a cool Western, like a Western film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really remember the rides.
We should say attractions. That's what
Attractions.
Walt wanted them to be known as attractions, not rides.
Okay.
Because rides, Steve values them.
Yeah, true.
Makes them like a
I couldn't answer it.
Let me think. What do you like? You like the that one that takes you upside down over at California Adventure, the Paradise Pier or whatever it's called. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
Cars Land. They made a movie about that.
Yeah, exactly right. They made a ride based on the film.
I don't know. Yeah, I would say Big Thunder Man because I'd love to see like a cool Western. But maybe like the Rivers of Adventure where you got the paddle steamer and you go around the lake or...
Yeah, no, there's nothing for me.
No?
Nothing for me.
Well, they've done all the big ones. Pirates, they've done. Yeah. They've done Jungle Cruise now. They've done the Haunted Mansion. They've done
the Tiki Room.
The Tiki Room. God's sake, no, right. Thank you.
I had a nice little nap in there. It was fantastic.
No. Yeah, you did too.
Yeah,
actually, that apparently it's very common. People go into the Tiki Room to just have a nap.
Really?
Yeah. People go in there.
I didn't go in there to have a nap.
No, you just fell asleep.
It was so.
But people do it
because
because that place is a bit out of the way.
Because that was Walt's favourite.
Yeah.
Attraction, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, because they developed all the animatronics for it. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. Next, James. Yep.
Which James is this one?
It's just James.
Just James. Okay.
Yeah. So we've got 3 or 4 Jameses.
Okay.
Who are on the
So this
Patreon.
James will know which James it is, and the ones that didn't ask the question will know it wasn't them.
Yeah.
Hi guys. Hi James.
Hi James.
We all know that all know that remakes are inevitable.
Yep.
They're always going to remake movies that are already pretty good.
Yep.
But what about the movies that seem like they should have worked? What are some movies you thought were good ideas but just missed the mark that you would like to see remade?
Oh.
Jeez, we should have seen that question earlier.
Yeah, me too. There was one film that we saw a few years ago, which I thought sounded terrific.
There's been so many films we've seen over the years that thought, geez, it was
sounds
just
so good.
not quite made it, did it?
The one that hits me first off, one called Another Earth. Do you remember that? It's got Britt Marling in it. Sounds terrific. It sounds amazing. On the night of the discovery of a duplicate Earth in the solar system, an ambitious young student and an accomplished composer cross paths in a tragic accident. So essentially they discover that there's like a duplicate of Earth.
Yeah.
And it's like, they discover what's going to happen or what. And I felt like they had a premise and it just didn't go anywhere. Like it didn't reach the heights it could have. It wasn't like it's got a 6.9, but you'd think something like that could be a bit higher. I don't know. I feel like it won something at Sundance, it says.
On that same sort of theme is Tomorrowland.
Well, yeah, we were talking about last week. Yeah.
That's one
great
concept.
One
for me, I suppose. Really good concept. And for some reason, for me, it just didn't really hit it.
Yeah, we sort of discussed it last week because they cut out so much stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. There's a lot of movies like that, particularly sci-fi stuff. Even that Stowaway we watched last week.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
like
another one.
Great concept, and then the execution of it.
There was that one with George Clooney. What was it called? What was that one?
Oh, Gravity.
Good film, but there
wasn't huge on that.
There was something about it.
I wasn't huge on Gravity. I need to revisit it.
It just didn't quite hit it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, but it could have been so much better.
Mate, is it that these science fiction things sound like so ambitious and too good for their own? I don't know what the phrase I'm trying to say here.
They sound better than what
they end up being.
But one on the opposite, on the flip side of that, one that you didn't really expect much from, but we finished up really enjoying was Moon.
Oh yeah, so good.
I mean, it's such a great film.
Yeah,
really good
Sam
concept,
Rockwell.
and it actually hit it for me.
Yeah, really good.
But you know, we're huge Rockwell fans, and it really hit it for me. So that's on the flip side, where something you go into not really expecting much from and come out thinking, wow, I really enjoyed that.
Well, there you go. Yeah, interesting that so these little sci-fi ones. Again, I think the ideas are just so ambitious that it's hard for them to get it.
Yeah.
To get that thing. I just had an email come through. I'll quickly read it. It's from Jackson H.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Look forward to hearing the pod this week. Waco Jacko.
Yep.
That's it.
Oh.
So Waco Jacko's writing to say he's looking forward to hearing the pod.
Oh, well, we'll have to wait until... When does he get it? Tonight?
He's a patron.
So he'll get it tonight.
He's a patron. He'll get it tonight.
Yeah.
But I think he listens to it on Tuesday at work, although he's in lockdown now, so...
Oh, so we might listen to it tonight.
Yeah. I think that's it. Come on, one more.
Just quickly, one from YouTube.
We'll wrap this show up.
Infinite Empire. So we'll click with this one. Would you ever consider ranking animation studios other than Disney, Pixar, like DreamWorks or Illumination?
Yeah. Well, I've done all the Disney ones. I'm just about done the Pixar ones because I've been holding the last Pixar one off because Luca comes out this month in June. June or July, I think it's out. June, I think. So I've been holding the last one out. Instead of it's been done. I finished at the beginning of the year. But the way I've been spacing the videos out. I could have uploaded it last month, but I thought I'm not going to upload it and then upload it in 2 months' time. So I've held off on that. That'll go up. And then I'm going to start working on the DreamWorks films. I've been saying for the last 2 or 3 months.
You've got to sit and watch them all.
Got to start watching them. Got to start watching them because I'll probably do 4 or 5 videos.
20 of them or something.
Like 40.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I was surprised how many there actually are now.
Wow.
So I have to watch them all.
A lot of them are going to be trash, you know.
Well, a lot of them look pretty shitty. Yeah. So I was like...
Copies of other films, but not quite copies.
Oh, yeah, like Ants. Come out the same year as A Bug's Life.
Yeah.
So I have to start... I keep saying I need to start watching these so I can at least just start writing them and then make them as they come. So... Yeah, I've started prepping some work on them, but that'll be the next big one, and probably I'm saying a couple of months' time I'll start loading the DreamWorks ones.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
And that is all we have the time for. We've got in just under 2 hours this week, which I think is pretty good.
Yep.
The podcast goes out every single Monday on all podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Audible. A visual element is available to view on YouTube, which goes out 2 days earlier to patron support. It goes out on the Monday, but then it goes out 2 days earlier to the patron supporters. If you'd like to get your early access to that, as well as access to videos, early access to videos on YouTube and stuff, you can head over to patreon.com/Dave Lee Down Under and support me for as little as $1 a month.
You're a cheap man, David.
I know. If you want to, you can find me on YouTube at Dave Lee Down Under, over on Twitter, Instagram, links in the descriptions of every single podcast are down there. If you want to write into the show, you can tune in at daveleepod@gmail.com. And if you're listening on the podcast platforms, please leave a review and a rating, please.
But we only want good ones.
Only good ones.
Piss off with those bad ones.
Fuck off. Come back. Sorry. But please don't leave bad ones. Last week on the channel, I dropped my Cruella review, so you can check that out if you want. There's a Rugrats review's gone up last week too. I did a newly updated Disney live-action remake ranking video, all 18 live-action animation to live-action remakes. That includes Cruella now, so you can check that out as well. This week, I'm going to have a new Evolution, yes! This is supposed to go up this week. I've been talking about it. It's supposed to go up this week, but it's finished. I just have had a little bit of I've got a sponsor for this week's episode. A potential sponsor. I just need them to approve the video before I can publish it.
What do you call it? The integration.
It's an integration. And usually what happens with these sponsors, they're like, you have to give us 3 or 4 days to approve it. So I'm just sitting on it now, waiting for them to say, you can upload it. So I'm just hoping it's not too late. I wanted to coincide it with the release of the series, which is today or yesterday. but it's going to be a few days later, so I'm just hoping it's not too late. It should be all right. Should be fine.
You'll get it.
I'll get it up. You'll have that this week, and that one is for the Rugrats, as I've already said. So, yeah, very excited to launch that one. I'm very happy with it. That's it. Oh, also this week I'll have 2 Blu-ray haul videos. One for the Randomspace Media stuff that they sent over. Of course, you can go to randomspacemedia.com and you can put in the code DAVE10 to get 10% off your full order. Again, it's no commissions or anything going to me. I'm just trying to help these guys out, get their releases out there. And there's also going to be like my JB Hi-Fi buy one, get one free haul. We end up buying so much in the end, I have to give it its own video. So you get 2...
Shitloads.
Yeah, so much stuff. You'll get 2 Blu-ray videos this week. Get excited for that.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks again to old mate Rick for joining me. I don't know why I'm...
Thanks, guys. Got over the board.
Yep. Oh, dripping everywhere. The mugs. The water. All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
See you later.
Take care.